Hi,
Hi,
what's your name?
my name is Raj Pagely.
Okay, and when and where were you born?
I was born in Pakistan in 1935. It used to be called Lalpur, now it's called Faisalabad.
Okay,
And then we moved from after the partition in 1947, we moved to India. And my bringing up mostly was in India. And my education, I went to most of my education I started in Roper Government College, and then I moved on to Punjab University College, Hoshiarpur. That was all my education was.
and how did you arrive on the decision to move to Canada?
Very good question. Yeah, my wife, his family has gone to India to get their son married, but they were looking for some match for their daughter. So she had a lot of offers, and then their parents met me and they looked at me, and they thought, "Oh, I'm really a good-looking, handsome young man." So they chose me, and the God behold. But before that, after we got engaged, we wrote each other for 2 years. And when I came to India and
Came to Canada.
Yeah.
when I came to Canada, I landed in Canada about midnight
In Vancouver?
in Victoria.
In Victoria, okay.
For some reason, they got mixed up with my time of coming to Canada. There was nobody to receive me. So I was standing around there, and one fellow comes up to me and he said, "You look kind of lost." I said, "Yes, I am." And he says, "What are you here for?" And I said, "I came here to meet my fiancée. I'm going to get married." He said, "Oh, yeah?" He said, "You know where she lives?" And I knew their address, and the taxi driver, I didn't have any money with me.
Hmm.
So the taxi driver took me, and I got to their home, and they were all sleeping. And I knocked at the door, and I looked at them, and they just were
Surprised.
in a daze. They said, "What happened?" So that was the beginning when I came in here. And then after we got married, I asked Bansi, I said, "Did I fit all the thing that you were asked for?" Did I? She said, "Yes."
So you got married in Victoria?
I got married in Victoria. They
1960.
got married in Victoria in 1960 at Kali Sikh Temple. And
What were your first impressions of Canada when you arrived?
when I came to Canada, when I left India, what I heard about Canada, I had a really good feeling. And when I came to Canada, when I stayed with Bansi's family for a month after I got married, it was very pleasant. Everybody came, and I really enjoyed. And I thought, "Oh, it's a really a good country to live in." But that didn't last very long. After we got married, then the first thing I had to go look for a job. I had a turban.
Hmm.
I graduated from Punjab University, and I had a degree. I came down. I went down to University of Victoria, and they wanted to be would they accept my degree or they won't. At those days, they were very strict. They said, "No, we don't accept your degree." I said, "Well, what does it require to me to qualify?" I was a teacher. I was a PE teacher. I said, "I can take a year training, and then I can." He said, "No." So when I heard that, I closed that door, so I looked forward. I said, "I gotta go because I have a family to raise." So at that time, I started working in a plywood factory, and during the factory it used to be shift work, and at the night shift, during the day, I used to teach part-time.
In a school?
In a private schools.
Okay.
And then what people doesn't know what we had to go through was that the people used to call us ragheads. They didn't understand what the Hindu is, what the Sikh is. And that was the hardest part when I came. I adjusted to that. What I did, I thought I'm going to take a different role. When I start working in the mill, I become involved with unions. I was the steward, yeah, and then I start teaching at the time. So I have to fill two roles. One of use my education, keep my brain going. Another one to how to survive. And one of the story maybe I want to share with you was that when I came here, I went to Spracha School. I took the bookkeeping and accounting. And after I took the bookkeeping and accounting, there was a job advertised that they need a bookkeeper. So I phoned this fellow, and he said, "Oh yes." I gave my name, and he said, "Oh yes, we need somebody to be a bookkeeper." I said, "Good." So I made an appointment with him. So I went to see him in his office. I went to his front office. I talked to his secretary, and she said, "Please sit down, Mr. So-and-so. He'll be seeing you." His door was open, and he looked at me, and he looked towards me, and he see a man sitting with a turban. So when he was finished talking with the fellow that was sitting, then he said, "Come on in." So when I sat down, and he said, he looked at me, and he said, "Oh, you're from India?" And he said, "Your English is very good." I had no difficulty speaking. And he said, "Oh, your English is very good." I said, "Yeah, thank you very much." And he said, I said, "Oh, you have advertised a job. I'm interested." He said, "Before we talk about the job, I want to talk to you something about it." I said, "What is that?" And he said, "I really like the way you came in and way you presented yourself, but since you're wearing a turban, if we hire you, it might influence our business, the people coming in." And he said, my boss, he probably wouldn't like it. He said, I really feel sorry for that. I said, "Listen, don't feel sorry for it. But if that doesn't suit you, but you advertise a job." But I tell you, after that, we became the best of the best friends, both of us. And after that, I shaved my head, and my family in India, when they saw my picture, they were very sad. And but now, what does happen is, with the education, which we needed then, and I'm glad it's now, because it's not the total fault of the other people that they don't, because they do not understand our. And now more and more awareness is created, and I think we all are been accepted. So.
It's a great story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting.
touching,
Yeah.
Very.
His hockey experience and his athletic.
Yeah, please share
Yeah, but other
that with
than,
us.
like I said, when I came, when I looked around, I said, how do I get involved with people? In order to do any of these things, you have to be very open. And there was a friend of mine, not a man, he was from India. His name was Brian Curtis. He was born in India. And he put an ad in the paper to field hockey. So I called him, and he said, I told him where I'm from, all that, and he said, "Yeah, very great." So I started the field hockey that is right now is well and alive is the Tigers of Victoria. And they have won many awards, many. And as a matter of fact,
Ravi.
Ravi Callahan, he was a youngster and he had learned, he was a part of the field hockey. When I talked to him, he said, "Uncle, you know, you had started something so good." So these are the what my idea was to get more involved with people, and I got involved with multiculturalism.
So there's more acceptance.
Yeah, more acceptance. And the thing is, you have to, if you want to take something, you have to give something.
Very true.
So I got involved in the multiculturalism. I was the first president of the Affiliation of Multicultural Society of British Columbia. So those are the things, just you have talked to my wife. What it did was, that is our religion said, that you give service. That's
Give
what
back to the community.
Yeah, to give back to the community. So that's what it is.
And you've maintained your ties with India. You go back regularly. You used to go back regularly.
We
You
used to
still go often, here and there. You still go, but you maintained your ties. You went back and forth in the entire time.
Yes, we do. I have a sister in India. We have a home, and so we always have in touch with her, what's going on. But no, we used to go quite regularly, and now things changed.
Yeah.
And now we mostly, the winter time, we go south to California. So
And our families there.
Yeah.
our family, because our son is there.
What's
Okay.
your view of Victoria now? What do you think of the people who? What was your view then, and what is it now about
Well, you know,
living as a South Asian?
they okay, politically, no, okay.
Doesn't matter.
The Victoria has changed a great deal since 1960s. That like Vancia told it. At that time, they were a very knit family because they didn't have too many. But now, because being the extended families are here, so even if when I go to Gurdwara, I don't know any of the people now because they are newcomers.
Yes.
So if I say that, as for the Victoria is concerned, people are still, they work together, they have cohesion,
Yes.
and but being now the South Asian from all part of the India, so the dynamics have changed in Victoria.
Yes.
But we are still involved in the Gurdwara, because earlier days there was only one Gurdwara. The Muslims went there, and the Hindus went there. It was the same thing. So I think that's the big change, because now, which is good now, because people have their own place to pray, like Hindus have temples, and that is more exposure to the people. So I think it's better than when we started before.
Raj, did you ever go to Pakistan?
I never went to Pakistan after the Pakistan was
Partition, no.
after the partition.
No.
But
And your family settled where in Rupert?
our family, my father was a lawyer, and he started his practice in Rupert. But when we left Pakistan, the land we left there was allotted back to Rupert area.
Okay.
So I only grew in a city. Our village is close by, and so that's yeah.
Thank you.
But there's one thing that he left out. His athletic, what he did in college and university.
Well,
He held the
Yeah,
title.
please share that with
Yeah.
us as well.
Well, you know, because they, how do you explain it? It's, you know, because I always have been grown as a sports person. If I look at back, we have did some research from our genealogy.
Yeah.
My great grand parents, they used to be wrestlers.
Oh.
all five.
Coal.
Gold, yeah.
Yeah.
I had some, I guess we had some carrying some of the genes.
Mm.
But I am a 100-meter record holder of Punjab University.
Oh.
Very nice.
Sprinter. So you're
Yeah,
a sprinter.
Yeah, Punjab University.
It was
I
a dash.
entered-
It was a
entered
dash in
dash.
those days, 100-yard dash.
Yeah.
But we took the boys back to see. It was still at the college.
Yes.
You know, his coming in. That was many years later.
Yeah.
It was really quite something. But he held that title. But at that same time, the fellow that went into the Olympics,
Milk Singh.
Bill
Cussing,
Cussing,
yeah.
I met with him.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
lots of things went on.
That's my story.
Thank
Very
you,
nice. Well,
Raj.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
being a
much.
part of this
No
project
problem.
and sharing your story with us.
No problem.
Thank you.
No.